how to sell 1,000 online courses. Now, is it even possible to sell 1,000 courses? Yes, and I actually sold 1,000 $1,000 courses in the first 13 months of my business, and in this video I'm going to show you how. Okay, I remember when I finally realized that selling things that were slightly more expensive was one of the biggest secrets to making a lot of money, right? Which I know that might, well, duh, but a lot of people don't do that. They go out and they sell something that's like $20 and they're like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. How many units do you have to sell to make $1 million if it's a $20 product? 50,000, right? Or whatever, isn't it? I can't remember. Okay, but isn't that crazy though? The answer is, you see how bad I am at math. I got straight D's in all of English and math and science and literature growing up. And but the point is that selling things that are slightly more expensive is the answer. And so if I can sell something that is mid-price ranged and I get good enough at that, that actually is one of the fastest ways to making cash quickly. As I've been filming here today, I'm having sales coming in that are $1,000 using the very model that I'm going to walk through during this video. So in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 different strategies to selling $1,000 courses. Hey, first of all, what I want to do is break down the numbers behind any internet business, especially the online course business. I know we all treat 1,000 as the holy grail, and rightfully so. Okay, real quick, just look at the math of this. I'm sure some of you guys have done this math, but I remember the first time I ever saw this, I was like, this, making millions of dollars is actually much more tangible than I thought. Just real briefly, everyone will make $1 million. If you work at McDonald's, do the math, you will make $1 million. What you're trying to do is you're trying to make $1 million quickly, right? So when someone's like, is it a get rich quick scheme? Hopefully. I'm not trying to get rich slow, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, that's the reality. Break your mentality around that. Just because you get money fast doesn't mean it's a scam. So look at the numbers. Check this out. If I have 1,000 courses that are $1, I get $1,000, obviously. 1,000 courses that are $10, $10,000. You can see where it's going. $1,000 at $100, that's $100,000. Now, okay, interesting. Do you guys think you can sell 1,000 people on a $100 course? Yes, but the problem is you still have to transact 1,000 times. Okay, it takes just as much time, effort, and energy to sell something that is $100 as it does $1,000. Which, by the way, if you do $1,000 courses, that's $1 million. So I told you in the intro of this video that it took me 13 months to do that. On my first, it was my second $1 million product. Okay, so $1,000 courses is $1 million. Now, I mean, it continues to go, but you can see, like, I have friends that have done the bottom rung. Holy smokes, $100 million? That's crazy. And they'll go off and they'll sell something that's, I've sold $100,000 products. I have $100,000 products myself and sold them. And they're awesome. I have $10,000. But you start to see how the math behind this is not actually that crazy to make a lot of money. So when someone says the internet game is a scam, no, they just suck at marketing and they can't do math, okay? Check this out. If I want to go out and I want to sell $1,000 courses and I want to do it in 1 year, how many sales is that per day? 2.7. That's actually a lot easier. And wait a second. 2.7 sales a day equals $1 million. Right? I know you guys can't see this, but 2.7 sales a day equals $1 million a year. And because of a sales funnel, I can do that automatically. Yep. That's what we do. Now, real quick, let's dive into how we actually can go get 2.7 sales every single day. All right? Now, watch this. One of the best ways that you should ever do this is with ads. And the reason why is because it usually doesn't cost $1,000 in ads to sell a $1,000 product, especially on Facebook or YouTube. Do you hear what I just said? That's one of the reasons this business model is so viable, right? It doesn't cost $1,000 to sell a $1,000 product on Facebook or YouTube. Usually. If you're really, really bad, then then probably. But anyway, even brand new people, $1,000 to sell a $1,000 product is usually that's insane. That's way high. It means you did it wrong. Okay. So someone laughs and they're like, "Oh, webinars don't work." They just suck at them because we make millions of dollars with them. So let's break down what you would have to do in ads in order to actually hit $1,000 courses. Okay. All right. Now I want to show you guys something that's okay. This is if you're really bad. All right. This is if you're really, really bad. If you can get I'm just gonna tell you on webinars, especially with online courses. If you get a 5% purchase rate, which is about what happens, let's say 100 people come on and 5% actually purchase from your webinar. That's a 6-figure business. I want you to hear me say that again. When you go in and you have a 5% conversion rate on a webinar, you don't need 100%, man. You need 5% for a $1,000 course. That is a 6-figure business. That's a six-figure business. Whenever you hit 10%, it's $1 million. 15% is multi-millions per year. Okay? So let's look at this if you're really bad. All right. If you have an average 5% purchase rate from a webinar, it's all automated. That's not bad. And what we see usually is that on average, a low but beginner show-up rate to the webinar is 15%. Let's keep going. Which means if I have 667 people register every day, 15% will show up and 5% buy. You starting to follow me on this math, this logic? Because 667, 15% of that is 100 people. So I have 100 people every day that actually show up, 5% of them buy. Okay, check this out. On average, okay, especially if you're new, you'll usually spend $5 in ads to get each registrant. So $5 times 667 registrants equals $3,333 every day. And how much did you profit? 5%, 5 times 1,000. You sold $5,000. Now that's if you're really, really bad. And that means you're going to be netting $1,700 a day. Oh, what sweet cherry pie, right? That's pretty sick. I love that so much. That's why this game's so fun and why we push it so hard. Information is a very fun thing to sell, right? You guys are all with me on this. You looked up how to sell online courses, okay? But if we have $1,700 in net take home every single day, if I'm bad, there's a lot of places where you can start to actually make the tweaks and turn this into a real business. Where you're splitting $3,000 out in ads, you're getting now that is if you choose to use ads. Hey guys, I'm going to show you 2 more ways I like to get traffic for webinars and online course selling. But I'd love to know down in the comments below. Tell me in the comments, what are your favorite traffic methods for selling online courses? There's so many ways to do it. I love it. It's one of my favorite business models ever. But let me know in the comments down below. Also, hit the subscribe button. This is epic content that we put out every single day. Hit the bell because we put them out every weekday and we want to notify you. Now, I want to run a quick scenario by you real quick. Let's say that you're like, Steve, I'm just starting out. There is no way I'm going to dish out $3,000 every day on ads. I get it, even though we just showed that you can be very profitable even if you suck, okay? Which is fine. Everyone sucks at first. Right? The goal is to do it long enough to learn the game to suck as little as possible, right? That's basically what we're doing. Because 5%, it's not awesome. 15%, not awesome, right? $5, right? And so there's a lot of flex room in there for you to make a lot of profit. This is literally how we, just automatically for almost 2 years, got 2.5 to 3 sales every single day. And after I built it, I didn't touch it. That's how we pressed the million so fast with that second product. But let's say that you're like, Steve, you know what? I don't want to go spend money on this. That's totally fine. I got a good buddy, his name's Blake Newbar, and he has made his entire career not doing ads, not doing anything. He only does JVs, or what we call joint ventures. Joint ventures would be like asking, who is it that has my audience that I would love to be able to go and do a joint venture with? And does that cost money? No, they have a list, right? It doesn't cost you any money to run it. So it's pure profit, and you both split it, okay? You split the profits themselves. 50% off, basically, minus 50%, because you give half usually to the persons you do the JV with. That's another great strategy. Another fantastic way for you to get rid of this cost is actually just through affiliates. We have our own affiliate army, or we did. And at the time that we crossed $1 million on that second product of ours that made $1 million, we actually had spent about $200,000 in commissions, right? Or sorry, $200,000 was from affiliates. And we put out, I think we were at 25% commission. So just know that affiliates is a great way for you as well to get a lot of free traffic. Now it's somebody on else to go find ads, right? Now it's somebody on else to go and find traffic. And so you can send them to whatever that course is and give them, it's pretty common to give 25 to 50% of the sale to the affiliate, right? But you also don't have to spend that, right? Which actually could be less than the actual ad spend itself. That's another great strategy to actually grow. One of my other favorite methods, actually it is my favorite method. Okay, I actually go to ads. It's one of my last things that I go to. I'll do JVs, usually third or fourth. Affiliates usually around the second. This is always number one though, because it is mine. I own the traffic. I don't have to give out commissions. I don't have to give out commissions there. I don't have to spend money on ads, right? And I'm gonna give you a cool live example of this later on in the video, all right? But when I go out and I put content on, let's say, YouTube or podcast or whatever, all I do is I say, go to this URL and register and go check it out. Now, what happens if that person goes and purchases? I didn't have to go acquire them. I didn't have to spend money on ads. I didn't have to get rid of anything else. It's literally free traffic. Now, content typically I've got a lot of other videos on content creation. All right, this is not the purpose of this video here. But what the benefit of content is, I own the traffic. It's my list. And when people go to that thing to go purchase, I don't owe any other money, and it's pure profit. Hey guys, I got a free gift here for you, and also it will tie in directly to what it is that you've learned here. If you're looking to launch your course on the internet and you want a lot of strategies for it, and you more of this stuff but deeper, go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. It is free to check out the presentation, and the presentation is all about 3 of the traffic methods that I like to use that will actually go and help you launch the product on the internet. It's the thing that I use over and over again, those same 3. They're the same ones that I get the most money with. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. The link is in the description.